Hey there, zombie fans. Welcome to another episode of the AFTERBUZZ After Show on AFTERBUZZ TV for Z Nation. Tonight we are talking about Season 3, Episode 6, Doc Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. We've got so much fun stuff to talk about, and we have a very special guest. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Love. I'm all shook up. I don't know about you guys. I am all shook up after tonight's episode, or I guess Friday's episode.
Good enough.
The episode we are talking about tonight.
Yes.
How are you guys all doing?
I loved this episode. This was such a blast.
It was so fun. I am good.
I had tweeted that it's going to be the best episode so far. I had a great time watching it. It was good.
All right.
Yes, it did not disappoint. Hello, Z Nation fans. Welcome to another episode of the Z Nation After Show on AFTERBUZZ TV. Tonight we are talking about Season 3, Episode 6, Doc Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I'm your host, Megan Salinas. You guys can tweet at me at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin. Let me introduce my fantastic panel tonight, Katie Cullen.
Hi, all my buddies. You can find me on Twitter at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. We have the hashtag ABTVZNation. We have the live chat going. So if you have anything fun to say, if you have any questions for our special guest, throw it in the hashtag, throw it in the live chat. You may well get a shout out.
Michelle Cullen.
Hello, everyone. You can find me on Twitter at Michelle_Cullen.
And our wonderful special guest, the one, the only, Emilio Rivera.
How you doing? Glad to be here. You can get me at Emilio Rivera 48. Yeah.
Yes, just that.
Yep. And real quick before we get started, guys, I want to talk to you really quickly about iTunes. Folks, thank you so much to everybody who's gone to iTunes to rate, leave a comment, subscribe. It's the best way to let our producers know that you guys like the show that we're putting on. And if you rate and leave a comment, we will give you a shout out on the show. Nothing new this week, so next time, guys, get on it. We want to hear from you.
And I'm just saying there's going to be a contest at the end of the season.
Which is
For
the first
season
time
three.
we've announced that. So,
Just
you know.
take that
Surprise.
into consideration.
Watch this
for the rest
space.
of the season. Anyway, guys, so I don't know about you, but One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was one of the few books I actually really liked reading in high school. So seeing the preview for this week's episode, Doc Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, it just filled me with so much glee. I want to know, what are your guys' initial thoughts on the episode we're about to cover?
The fact that she was actually called Nurse Ratched. Oh my God.
That's true.
We went there.
It made me very happy.
It was great.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say I loved getting to know Doc more, just beyond his kind of comic relief, jovial spirit thing, and actually see him have depth in an episode. It was great to have an episode dedicated to him.
Yeah, I think it was the best episode for Russell, man. It really was. That's really because he got to go all over the place with it, you know. And even for 10K, you know, he got to go crazy there. He was convulsing and stuff. It was really good. But I think this Nurse Ratched was better than the original Nurse Ratched. I really dug her, man. She looked really. She was psycho, man.
I think this Nurse Ratched has a leg up on previous iterations of Nurse Ratched because she actually potentially is a patient in said insane asylum.
Yeah, Anna in chat said, I thought the nurse was one of the patients, i.e. the hospital is run by patients. We were actually talking about this before the show. I walked away from that with the impression that a patient-run hospital was run by the patients, not a democratic process, but there is a patient who now thinks that they are a nurse.
And see, I walked away from the episode with I wonder if she's a patient. It wasn't such a solid thought in my head. It was maybe she was more crazy than everyone else.
No,
I was
She
hearing
had to
full-on.
be. I mean, look at the way Bob took her out, man. You know, that was-
Yeah,
Bob had rage.
she gave him a lobotomy without
She gave him two.
without consent.
without any anesthesia.
That too.
Remember that, right?
That was like ice pick in the eye lobotomy.
Again,
Those were
really good thing about this episode is that even though it's strongly implied that she herself was a patient, that's never actually confirmed by anything that's said. Patient run is ambiguous. It's either democratic or she just decided as a patient one day, well, all the people in charge are in the Z ward, I'm in charge now, and just kind of appointed herself the head of the insane asylum.
I wish maybe the people that they had in that room that was locked up maybe those are the real doctors and they took them out. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Oh,
yeah.
It was
So
an
it's-
intentional power play.
An
Exactly.
Arkham scenario.
Because Liddy did kill his doctor. I mean, he mercied the Z that formerly
Yeah.
was his doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was intense. There was rage.
That was one of the. I think the thing that stood out to me was when they mercied the Z and his skull fell out.
It just
That was my favorite one.
slipped out. It just popped out there.
Those of you who watched the Red versus Blue after show, you know exactly where I went with this one.
It doesn't
seem physically possible.
But
Yeah.
so let's talk about the zombies a little bit because again, something we talk about a lot on this show that we like to bring up that is definitely a highlight for Z Nation is that the uniqueness of the zombies. And the zombies in this episode were a special kind. It was just like a huge special treat getting insane asylum zombies. Zombies who had undergone electroshock therapy.
It's a
for
care
one.
facility.
And like, because anytime we have a setting in a hospital for any kind of zombie locale, that gives the producers and the costume people and the makeup so much potential and free range to do a lot of really creative things. So I wanted to know, what did you guys think about these zombies in this episode?
I feel like the shockers were almost a little underutilized. Like, we saw two of them, and both of them were taken out in the same way, which is, oh, hey, zzz, zzz, electricity, which I loved. But I thought they were going to make a bigger deal of them in the same way that we did the blasters and the phytozombies and whatnot. And it was just like, no, they died in a very specific way, but they're not different from any other Zs. And they set an extremely high bar on this show.
They did set an extremely high bar regarding zombies. I felt like it was more about the human condition than it was about the Zs.
True.
Especially for this type of theme.
Very true.
I like the crazies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
They were so good, right?
We have a fantastic cast of characters.
Wait, I don't know. Is that politically correct? Did I say that right?
I feel
don't know
like,
if they
I feel like in
you
the
can't call us
context,
crazies, bro.
I feel like in the context of the apocalypse, literally everyone is a little bit crazy in order to
But they were
survive.
acting so
So,
good, though. The people,
patients?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the patients. Yeah, the crazy patients. You know, I think they were good, man. They were fun. They were fun to watch. You know.
Yeah, it looked like everybody was having a lot of fun,
Yeah.
like getting into character, into like the spirit of things. Because what sort of people would also choose to stay in an insane asylum, you know, when the world has fallen apart?
Well, actually, you're more safer though. You dig what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They had the locks or triple locks. You know what I'm saying? The sequence. So yeah, I think just to be safe. Maybe some of them weren't crazy, but played the part of being crazy so that they could stay in there. You know?
I feel like
It's
that's
safe.
Winona. Like, kleptomania isn't something you usually get hospitalized for.
Committed for.
Right.
I feel like
maybe
she had
therapy,
like a,
but not committed.
She seemed to have, like, I assume that a series of unfortunate events is what led her to that place.
Did anyone else see her on screen right away and go, oh, it's like Winona Ryder's Beetlejuice character? And then her
Yes.
name was Winona, and I was like, yes, it is.
Yes.
That is exactly who that is.
I
And
get
Winona
it.
Ryder got arrested for shoplifting that one time.
I was like,
and it was
I
this
feel
whole big
like that's
to-do.
a reference.
Absolutely. That's like an onion reference. It's like 5 layers in there.
No, I mean that's what the nation does, though, man. You know what I mean? They bring a little bit what's happening and this and that, and bring it in and incorporate it, and it works, man. You know, because see, you got that, you know.
Yeah.
So this episode was written by Ty Lombardi. So again, very, very clever character bits thrown in there by the writer for this episode. So yeah, I want to ask, which of these patients intrigued you guys the most? Because again, very eclectic group of individuals who are now kind of stuck together at this insane asylum.
Intrigued me, paranoid delusion guy. Who did I enjoy the most? Elvis. Just, he El Kabonged Doc, and that was his introduction into the episode. Like, anytime you use a guitar for El Kabong purposes, it is my new favorite thing. Yeah.
I think Liddy was definitely up there. I loved Winona because the things that she said, like, we need to synchronize our watches, just wearing 3 Rolexes, I would do
Yes.
that. I would take full advantage of that line.
She was stealing from the Mercy Z's.
I mean, they don't need it.
No,
true.
not at all.
Technically, you don't even need a watch in the apocalypse.
You can't
but
take
it's
it
fun
with
to
you.
have a Rolex.
Right, you're right.
You can't take it with you.
Exactly.
I like Ratchet. I love Ratchet. I would love to see just a thing on her. You know, like bring her back, man. You know, but she's not coming back. Well,
No.
but her and Bob.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, there's a lot of subtext here, given like their relationship and a lot of. again, it's just so interesting to think about whether she assumed power after things fell apart, or if she was a staff member who just it's entirely possible that she wasn't actually a nurse, that she was just somebody who happened to work there who went a little crazy as the world fell apart too.
So she was a candy striper.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot. I'm with you, Michelle. I like Winona the best. Anybody who can maintain a sense of humor in the apocalypse is always a lot of fun to watch.
Right.
I have to say, I love that they all immediately fell for, oh, it's 10K fever, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. And they all went, yeah, okay. Sure.
He's the only one that seems to have any idea of what we're talking about when it comes to medical stuff.
The thing, if you have a high enough charisma score, if you can say it with enough emphasis and confidence, people will believe you.
Well, and Doc actually does have that training. He is a psychologist.
And I love that we got to see this, but he was just lying through his teeth for
You know
this
what's
one.
good
and it
about
was
that? Even
great.
me, knowing what was going to happen, when I'm watching, I'm thinking, man, Doc's pretty good. He was quick on his feet, man. You know what I'm saying? You know?
And like, it's just a good testament to his character and the development that Russell's given this guy, that, you know, he's a psychologist and he looks at these people who the world calls crazy, is mentally unstable, they're in an institution, what have you, and he's like, hey man, my chair's straight, do you want to, like, it's so chill.
Yeah.
So relatable.
There's like no judgment
Yeah.
there. Again, he was just not the type of person that did that before the world fell apart. And after the world fell apart, like, what's the point of judging anybody anymore? That sort of thing.
Right.
So
good.
So yeah, we get a little bit of the team coming back together in this episode with Doc and 10Ks being reunited. And I wanted to get your take on them coming back together, because your character is a new addition to this team. And we've gotten some really intense scenes with him and Warren, but he hasn't had a ton of time yet with the rest of the group.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I want to be part of the whole team, but Warren is a boss lady. She's a leader. You dig? So I'm pretty much just gonna go. Well, what she got to do, and everybody else falls in. You know, can fall in place. So I fall behind them. They fall behind me. Don't matter. I just got to be good with her, because she's the one that can say yes or no.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna follow what the lady says. You know.
So what happens? What happens to Hector if anything happens to Warren? Theoretically.
Well, you know, wow, look at this, they're already digging in. Right? No, we're not going to lose Warren. That's how that is. I'm going to protect him. I'm going to protect him.
I'm pretty sure if Warren goes, the entire group falls apart.
At point.
We all go our separate ways. You know, fend for
Sharknado
yourself. You know.
Sharknado?
Just throw it all in the apocalypse.
Well, we had a zombie NATO.
We've already had a zombie tornado. Yeah. You know what the show could actually do, and it would be 100% plausible, is a zombie shark tornado. Like,
I just want zombie sharks.
I would watch
Full
that.
stop. I mean, oh my god.
Now, when they did, I saw that. That was the first season, right? When they had the
zombie tornado.
The zombie tornado, yeah.
That tripped me out. Because it's true. Because they can do, just as long as you don't take out their head, they're good to go.
Exactly.
And they were dropping down, and I'm going, and they got up. I said, "Whoa, that's not good." You know.
As long as they can still shimmy or shuffle forward, yeah, they're good to go.
I know, yeah. Terrible.
Yep, they can. And this probably just that. I'll never stop thinking about that like crazy tumbleweed of zombies that we saw at the beginning of this.
I love the zombie tumbleweed.
You know, it's funny though, man. You know, because I dream, and I have a good life, so I dream good dreams, right? But ever since I've been working on Z Nation, I have nightmares, man.
Oh man,
it's weird, right? I mean, it's kind of weird because I beat them real bad. I kill them real bad. And yeah, it's kind of weird, man. I tripped out on that.
Well, again, I think that's probably a testament to the effects on this show, because again, the zombie creature effects are the makeup department does such a good job. I'm not just saying that because we've met the makeup department.
Yeah.
But no, they do such a good job, and again, they step it up with every single episode. Every week, a new different type of zombie, and then like the time frame that they have to work on it, it's nothing short of incredible, the work that they do.
They're amazing. Josh and Corinne and Tess and all of them on camera, they're I'm there when they do it, and I see what they do, and it's incredible what they do, man. Really to them, really, for reals, big time.
So, because you're on set and you're in the middle of this chaos during this sometimes 5-day recording schedule for any given episode, what do you think is the biggest challenge being on set?
Chasing and getting chased by zombies. 15 years ago, I was in good shape, man. I could have done this all day long. But, you got the 5th day and the 15th hour. You're going, damn, I'm getting too old for this. But you know what? But the thing is, I'm a zombie guy. I love zombies since I was a kid, and so I'm having the time of my life. I really am. Man. I'm having a ball. But the only thing is wrong that after you work like about 12 hours, 13 hours, you get your cup of coffee and it's getting dusk and you look away and you forget where you're at. You see this thing coming out of the trees. Like, it's a TV show, man. You kind of forget where you're at sometimes.
You start seeing things and you're like, man.
But they're really there, though. You know what I mean? So
Just that split second of I am gonna die. That is an extra.
And plus
They're eating a bologna
plus you're
sandwich.
tired. Plus you're tired, and they come out of the tree somewhere.
Yep.
You're not in that scene, but you see. I say, what? And then I'm here. It's cool.
Probably the most unsettling scene for me this season was seeing the bridge and the fight you guys had with the zombies that were hanging from the bridge.
Oh my god!
It's just like that was so dark.
Jason McGee directed that, and Dan Merchant wrote that. Yeah, that was insane, man. That to me was, my favorite episode because it was about the scorpion and the red hand, So I had it, but wow, it was good, right? It was good, man.
I could see why working on a show like this would give someone nightmares after a scene like
because
that.
we get there for the first time and we see that and we say, who thought of this?
Just like this is different than the page.
Are those extras? Or
it's on the
dummies?
page, but you don't really expect to see it that way.
Yeah.
And then when you see it with the blood and the guts, and then you see the stuff, and Keith and Alex, how they the stuff they do is amazing, man. That was a tough job. It looks like nothing, but they were hanging for a long time,
Yeah,
Man.
exactly. Yeah, a lot of physicality going into this show
Big
for
time,
sure.
Yeah.
So, were you you said you were always a big fan of zombies. How did you get involved in Z Nation?
They wanted me to go meet them for the role of Vasquez. And I guess when they met me in person, they probably felt this guy's a little bit too old to play Vasquez, because Vasquez is very, physical. And that's when Macedonio got the role. But they called me 2 weeks later, said, hey, we wrote this part for him as Scorpion, and to see how it goes. And the people like the character, it was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I recall my voice going up an octave last year when you joined the cast.
Thank you so much.
Did they sell you on the part when they said your character's introduced when he fires a rocket launcher at the crew?
That's a hell of an intro.
That wasn't really talked about. They just told me who he was, but what an intro that was.
That was
Oh my god!
Fantastic.
That was a beautiful, man. And then I guess when they threw me down the pit, they said that they like the character. People were saying that they like the character. So, and Carl Schaefer, who I love, who's a great man. What a dude that guy is. He wrote me. We talked, and he goes, "Hey man, this is the apocalypse. Anything can happen."
That answer.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it was
This
great,
is the apocalypse. Yes, and.
And then they wrote me that nice little monologue, before to maybe hopefully they didn't shoot me, and it worked, So here we are.
And again, you've had a pretty good, like there have been a lot of very surprisingly emotional moments from this character who was introduced to us as a villain. Mm-hmm. So I gotta say, pleasantly surprised by Hector's character.
Thank you. Well, see, I'm a normal person like anybody. I got feelings, and that we did a scene with when Lauren when she got blown up, and that was not written, man. Jason just said, just do some improv, just say whatever you want to say, and we'll keep whatever we need, And I said, well, I don't want to start busting down and crying. So I'll show you some emotion, but I don't want to go that because we don't know each other that good yet. You dig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm still a hard man, but I didn't want to let her go. So it kind of just went there. You know what I mean? It worked.
It did.
So
That was a powerful
great
scene.
scene.
Thank you so much.
So, yeah, and especially for a character who's put the past behind him. So when you got the script for that episode in particular, where the Red Hand was introduced, and the idea that somebody else is masquerading as El Scorpion, how did you, as an actor, react to that? Because you're like, there's something, obviously, because again, this character is trying to distance himself from that name, and someone has taken up the mantle.
You know what? It's kind of flattering. fans in the apocalypse, man. You know, I got fans in the apocalypse. You know?
My reputation precedes me.
You know, but yeah, it's better him than me. You know what I mean? 'Cause well, I've been trying to live, man. You know, but my Zeros are all gone. You know, they're all zombies now somewhere. No, it was, and I know that that episode would be certain around my character, and I'm kind of like a ham. You know, so it was good. You know what I mean? I got to act a little bit. You know what I mean? So it's good. You know?
Yeah. So, go ahead.
Oh, just Chad is trying to figure out who the other Scorpion is, and the going theory is that it's sketchy.
That would, oh my God, that is so good. Oh my.
Thank you, Anna,
good,
in
bro.
chat. I think that's our favorite answer.
I would love that so much.
Forget our prediction
Oh my
section.
God.
Theirs.
That's where it's at.
See, I thought I was onto something with there is no other
Would
Scorpion,
that be
but
so
okay.
funny? That would be the hair comb back, fake mustache. They can go actually.
Oh my
they can-
God.
Yeah.
And just like some awful knockoff pleather jacket
Oh my
that's
God.
peeling.
Yeah.
Oh, that may be
Fake
my
tattoos, the messed up
Yes.
tattoos. You
Oh.
know.
that may
Or
be
just
On
like
the wrong-
drawn
on the wrong arm.
drawn on with Sharpie.
that
Like a
may,
caricature.
that may very well be my
Wow.
favorite thing that
Are
this
you
chat has
hearing
ever
this,
come up
Carl?
with.
Yeah.
If anyone feels like doing fan art,
Oh
that
my
would be
God.
incredible.
I love those guys.
And Anna says, "You're welcome," and takes a bow. Yep.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Those guys are good, man.
We have a question in the hashtag too from Mike_New York. He wants to know whether or not spider zombies will show up in future episodes. Look, we can't ask about spoilers, but what we do like to ask people when they come on is, you know, if you could, because this show is so good about the types of zombies that they incorporate into the narrative, what type of zombie would you like to see in the future in this show?
Me? Mm-hmm. I would like to see a part zombie. Anything with horns.
Nice.
You dig?
Like a bull or a moose.
Something, but not.
Oh, the moose.
A moose would be
zombie.
terrifying.
Because check this out. Okay, when these zombies eat blood and stuff, they also eat animals as well. Whatever,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So you don't know what kind of DNA comes to there. So whenever they bite you, you don't know what you become. You know what I'm saying? It could be a little bit of everything, right? You don't have any bones. Can just be protein out before they come out. You dig?
I like
Oh,
that.
wow.
Different parts. There's something birdie coming out. Some birdie coming out.
And
some
we
big.
know that there are plenty of hospitals and laboratories all around the world doing experiments on zombies, so we have no idea what those folks could come up with. I think
Chimera zombie. Someone just sewing different pieces of different zombies together.
oh, so
Ooh.
gross.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think
She's freaky.
I think
Like a Norman.
I only look sweet and innocent.
I think I'm gonna hop on what you said and say I would love a bull zombie. Like we got a zombie bear in season 1. I would love a bull zombie so that we could get a matador. Like, that would be pretty fantastic.
Admittedly, Murphy was
Or
dressed like
running of
one
the
for a
zombie
couple
bulls.
episodes there.
That's true. He did kind of have a matador motif going on for a little
did.
bit.
I'm going to go back with what I said for season 1. I want a swarm of bee zombies.
swarm?
Zombies.
Boo.
I want it.
She's been watching this little buzz too much right here.
Still want it. No, because that's terrifying.
It's true.
Angry bees are terrifying things. That's like,
Do you
oh,
think
they're
they would
zombie
just
bees.
fly
So amazing.
lethargically? Like, I just imagine they're super slow and just like,
The
would
entire
be-
hive just sways.
They would be the chillest bees, actually.
But you do not want to be caught in the middle of that.
Michelle, we were talking about this when you weren't here last week as well. So yeah, I want to get your input. What kind of zombie would you like to see further on down the line?
put on the spot.
You're the last one to go for this question.
I know. No, because I was listening. I was active listening. It's a nice skill to have your welcome. I do really like the idea of a terrifying moose running out of the woods. That's a zombie moose.
Zombie
right?
mounties. Zombie mounties.
Oh my god.
Coming
Oh,
down
I'm not
from
saying
Canada.
I'm not saying the animals. I'm saying like men or women.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With
With
the animal
bulls,
traits.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That'd
Yeah.
be kind of crazy, right?
Absolutely. And again,
With fangs, you know, like
there are
you know.
experiments going on all over the world, you know, in various laboratories. So literally, the sky is the limit. I know I've brought this up on the show, but there is a movie, an Italian zombie movie, where a zombie fights a shark. I really would like to see zombie sharks too. That would be a lot of
But then
fun.
we just stay away from the water. Just stay away from the water.
Don't go in the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, we already had him on the submarine. I feel like that would have been the good.
That would have been the time. That would have been
Just
the time.
have it like swim by the window.
Or just
No,
jump
no.
over, right? Just jump over,
No,
body
no.
go off, you know.
I guess that would be the. No,
Although
I'm not
if
gonna
Zona
make that
is an
joke.
island, it
That's
could
true.
still happen.
What's
That's
that?
true.
If Zona is an island in the formerly known Hawaii land,
Oh, that's good.
Hawaii land.
Hawaii land.
God
it's like
bless.
Disneyland.
That'd be pretty cool to show that, right?
Right.
The kind of animals they have in the water over there.
Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
really cool.
Experiments, right?
They
They're
seem like the
yeah.
type of people that have a zoo of
Yeah.
elite animals.
And that's actually an interesting to think about too. Is we haven't seen the man for a good long while, and Zona has no. I don't want to say it's fallen on the back burner because there's been a lot of stuff going on in terms of Murphy's New World Order. But yeah, it's been a hot second since we've seen the man in his pursuit of Murphy and the rest of the crew. So it will be interesting to see now that the group is sort of disjointed. We've got Doc and 10K on their own, and Warren and the rest of the crew are elsewhere. At what point is the man going to intercept what aspect of the group?
Well, Murphy is stationary at this point. He's
Exactly.
not going anywhere. He's saying, I'm setting down roots, so I'm building my empire here. We're doing this. And obviously people are getting this message because every time we see the camp, it's bigger. So it's only a matter of time until the message gets back to the man. And if Murphy's not going anywhere, well, sitting targets, man.
My brain totally just went Middle Earth, like the Battle of the Five Armies, and they all converge on Spokane. I want that so bad. But like Z Nation style, it's gonna be fantastic if that happens.
Well, no, that'd be like 5 different types of zombies. We'd have blasters and phyto zombies and just the tumbleweed running through in the middle.
Well, it's like you have Warren and team coming, and then Doc and 10K meeting up, and then the man coming, and they're all coming for Murphy, and so it's 4, and then zombies. 5, done.
Again, this is sort of prediction
Carl,
territory,
you're
so
welcome.
Good enough. Good enough.
I know it's already written.
this is
fine.
sort of prediction territory. And don't forget, Lucy's going to be coming to Murphy's compound as well eventually
yeah.
as well. So there's another group.
You
at
mean
play.
you haven't heard about the Air Force zombies yet?
No.
The ones that fly the planes? No. Is that a spoiler?
You're screwing with us,
Potentially.
aren't you? You're absolutely screwing with us. I knew it!
Oh,
The military is active, man.
And we do
Not
know
the
that
United
there's
States military.
there's still something there when a person becomes a zombie. So being a fighter pilot zombie would take a special set of skills, though.
They just go in circles. They just go in circles.
autopilot.
They just cruise. It's the autopilot. Oh Lord.
We should probably talk about
We-
the episode itself.
We
a
should.
little
We
bit more.
should. We should get back. I do want to just point out one more prediction before we move on, and it's just a thought. But how funny would it be if the man ends up beating Warren to Murphytown, and then Murphy has to come crawling back to her, saying, "Please, please save me."
Oh, that's absolutely what I'm
That's-
expecting.
That seems very
Great.
realistic.
That's really good.
It's a lot more realistic than my dream.
Wow.
Michelle, I love your dream. It's
Thank
a
you.
beautiful dream.
I feel like I need to go watch The Lord of the Rings after this.
That's funny, man.
Well, we also have 10K that's still potentially under Murphy's sway, and the medicine may or may not have been taken. There might not be much of it left, so who knows what's going to happen once he gets back into proximity.
Yeah, and not
Yeah.
to mention Doc doesn't know the nature of the medicine either. He doesn't know if giving it to 10K is going to help him or make him more sick. Mm-hmm. He has no idea.
He just made a big old cocktail that night, right? On Friday night, just like, here,
Yeah.
bam, this is for that, this is for that. But what's wrong with him, though? You know what I'm talking about? He just shot him up, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you said you want to get back to the episode. Is there anything
We
in
probably
particular
should.
you
Just-
want to talk about?
The thing that really hit me was don't tell Murphy. Don't tell Murphy. Wow.
Don't tell
Don't tell
Warren.
Murphy anything. Yeah, don't tell Warren I've been bitten. Like, very, very insistent on that.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Doc didn't necessarily say yes.
Yeah, there was never a full-on, okay, I won't tell her. It was just like,
Like,
come
I
on, we
promise
gotta
I
get
won't.
you going.
Doc has to. I can't say nothing about that. I just thought about that.
But it's such an emotion. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't
I
say
can't say
whether or
nothing.
not he's
NDA
actually going
territory.
to adhere to that. But either way, it's such an emotional moment because he cares about 10K, and probably the best way to help him is to be, forthcoming with the rest of the group. But the problem is that 10K actually has a really good point, because the last member of their group who was bitten was Cassandra, and she was very far gone. She acted completely differently than any other, I guess, victim of Murphy's bite that we've seen.
Feral.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that makes sense. But on the other hand, they have Sun with them, and Sun knows her stuff and would probably be the one most
10K
able to.
doesn't know that, though.
That's true, but everyone else does.
Yeah, Sun May, who's played by Sydney, what a great addition to the cast, man. You know, she's a badass. You know, she knows what she's doing. You know, as far as, I mean, as an actress and also as a character. You know, so it's good. You know, it's good to have her along. You know.
I mean, we're doing a lot of these single character episodes. I'd love an episode about her.
Yes.
I'd be down.
Yeah, we've gotten little bits here and there. So getting an episode focused on her and her integration with the rest of the team would be really great, because like I said, we've gotten bits of it here and there. Her taking on the crazy mailman, her helping Addie with her infected tooth. Those are all really great character bits that are ingratiating her into the group. But yeah, it would be really nice to have like an episode where she is like spearheading some sort of initiative.
Right, that'd be good, right?
Yeah.
I can't say anything about that either, but you know what?
You're like, that would be cool.
No.
We'll get you some popcorn so you can sit there and be like, popcorn dot gift.
I really don't know nothing about that. We needed somebody smart like that on our side. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We got a little bit of everything going on. You know, so it's good.
And if anyone could reverse engineer the vaccine that 10K has with him, it'd be her.
Right.
Absolutely.
Although we did see in the last week's episode Murphy, by eating
Murchie's brain
suddenly understood science, which was concerning on so many levels. But I will say, to this episode, we got a whole character development episode dedicated to Doc, and just seeing how gracious and understanding and chill he is as a human. But Murphy has messed with the person he's closest with in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
And Murphy was arguably on the best terms with Doc out of the group. They hugged goodbye because Doc is just that kind of a human being. But 10K's like his son. They have that father-son dynamic, and Murphy bit him without his knowledge or consent. And like Doc, this is going to change how Doc reacts to stuff now. Yeah. When he comes across Murphy.
Very good. Very good, yeah.
It's absolutely, completely going to change their relationship. Even Murphy driving away, like saying, "Oh, we would have made a great team, everybody," driving away and abandoning them. Like, Doc just sort of shakes his head and goes, "Well, how's that for, a how do you do?" But this is so fundamentally different, and I think this is probably the closest we've seen Doc getting to his breaking point.
Yeah.
Well, Murphy crossed a line. There are things that you don't do to your friends, to your teammates, to your allies, and Murphy's like, meh.
But that's Murphy, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Keith plays that part so well.
Oh my God,
So
yes,
good,
he does.
Yeah.
He is fantastic to watch.
The monologuing last episode. Holy cow.
Yeah,
great.
it's fantastic. All of you guys do such a great job.
Yeah.
Entire cast and crew. So I do want to point out one other thing. We have our group of patients who, again, a lot of fun. They're very quirky. They leave Doc and 10K. They just abandon them.
Well, you knew that was going to happen. They were either going to get away wholesale or they were going to all die. Like, we weren't going to bring all of these people with us from here on in. So they were going to split from the group somehow. And honestly, my money was on all of them dying. So I was pleasantly surprised when they got on the bus and drove off. Like,
I hope they come
all
back.
right.
They will. I think somewhere down the line they should come back, even if it's the next season, or hopefully we get another season out of it.
I feel like that's
But
this season's cheese wheel.
I think Ratchet's the one who had him down though, man. She had him on lockdown. I think they were scared of her. And once she was dead, just like in the original movie, once she was dead, everybody was like, cool. You know what I'm talking about? That was a witch.
Yeah, exactly.
Wicked Witch of the East, man.
They have been set free.
Yeah.
The lobotomy scene with 10K. I had trouble watching that. Like, I don't handle ice cream very well. And that was just like, and like, nope, can't.
That's the right there. All right.
And the patient is a bleeder fake out. It's
Oh.
like, no, okay.
Speaking of Bob, I don't know if this was intentional, but someone else pointed it out. I won't take credit for this. I just love it because I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan. But like Silent Bob, he was silent. He didn't talk.
There were
Silent Bob.
so many clever little winks.
I really hope that was intentional because that's genius.
Wow.
Ty, if you're out there listening, please let us know if all
Yeah.
these references were
Ty is
intentional.
great, and you gotta try her pies, man. Have you seen her pies?
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
No. Her pies they don't look fantastic. They look sad. They're zombie pies that look like they've been punched out with a ice pick or something. You know what I'm talking about? They look really nasty, but they taste good.
They're like boysenberry.
I've made meals like that before.
No, they're all red. They gotta be cherry or strawberry. 'cause
Their
they're red.
presentation leaves something to be desired.
Big time.
I have absolutely made meals like that before.
No, but she gave me a pie during we were filming. I forgot what episode, and she brought it, and it was it's like a sad face because it's a zombie pie, and then we held it up and it starts crying red. And it made it look worse, man. You know what I'm talking about?
I need the recipe for that.
You
I
have
want
to
to
check
make
her
one
out.
and
I
bring
wish
it
I
in.
knew that. Oh my god.
Oh my
And of
god, where can I get a zombie pie?
She makes her own pies and her own little hearts, but they're made out of you can eat them. It's really good
Oh
stuff.
my
Of
god.
course, of course, one of the staff writers would give you a pie.
Just
Oh.
starts bleeding.
A bleeding zombie
There
pie.
was, you guys don't
God
understand
bless.
there was pie involved.
There's always pie in Z Nation.
Ty makes the best
we
pies.
get it.
That is a tagline right there.
Oh gosh. So I do want to ask, since we're talking about the writer of this week's episode, I also wanted to ask, since you've worked with Dan Merchant before, he was the director of this week's episode, and he's directed episodes in the past. How has it been working with him this season?
Dan, I love Dan. He directed the first episode that I did this season. I dig all the directors, man. They're just cool-hearted people and love to have fun. They're like kids at heart, and that's what it is. You gotta have that, and that's what makes you want to work for them. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But Dan, he's like a little kid, man. I love him. I love that guy. They're good, but they're all good, though. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody has their own, their own way of doing their thing. But it's always fun. It's always great. This is gonna be a good one. No, actually, this episode coming up is directed by Jody coming up. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're talking about last weekend. Okay, yeah. No, everybody's good, man. Everybody's good.
That's fantastic. So again, with this, you touched on it a little bit earlier with being brought in for season 3 as well. I wanted to know, were you surprised that they wanted to keep you on for this particular season, again, because Hector has had such a 180 in terms of his character?
I really was. I was like, how? Right? And but then it's like Carl had said, there's apocalypse. Anything can happen, man. Nobody saw you die, dude. Nobody saw you bit. You bit him back. You bit him back. I remember I said it earlier before I said Daniel. Before I fought him, I said, "I'm a scorpion. I don't die. I kill." That's a beautiful line.
I'm imagining you tearing out a zombie's throat with your teeth now.
Well, hopefully, so we're down. We're in season 9. We'll tell the story what really happened. Why I'm still here.
It's just a flashback to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was a lot of fun covering the show with Michelle last season, because when I'm like, oh, he's totally dead, dead, she's like, no body, no death.
I watched that episode, and I thank you so much for that. It was heartfelt for her. I saw that. I saw it in her eyes, and I go, please, everybody, listen to her.
You're welcome,
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah. I even thanked her on Twitter. So I did, yeah.
We became friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Michelle has been so much better about predicting the future of the show than I. I've been beans at predictions this year so far. So,
And I just
That's a
come up
lot
with
of
fun,
pressure
dumb
now.
stuff.
I love to see, because I watch all the stuff that the people that they do, how do you say, reviews.
yeah.
And whether it's written or whether it's on a podcast. And I like to see what they think and what they're thinking. And sometimes people are close, man. Especially because I know what the hell's going to happen. So it's kind of cool, right?
What's been your favorite fan theory so far?
I can't say that either, because I don't want something like that. I just
you don't want to call out anybody.
Yeah. But some people are pretty good. Some people real good. You know what I mean?
Like they're sitting up there on set, just
Yeah, but some
eavesdropping.
people is like, I say that's a great idea, man. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
start to wonder if the ears have walls, and you're
it's
like,
really-
or the walls have
I-
ears.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
I
Okay.
thought that was an interesting take on it. I like
I love it. I love it. It's like it rolls off my back like a duck. I love it. You know, there's people looking at their theories now going, I could be right.
Yeah,
it could be mine. And like checking their notes for the 80,000th time.
Keep
They've
that
got
in
the
mind,
whiteboard, they've
folks.
got the cork board with all the red thread.
But it's good that people get vested like that. You know, I love that. You know, I
Yeah.
thought it's great. You know, I like that.
Yep. So again, it's always really satisfying to see fans like embrace the show that you're working on, and then just to see them run off. I love like seeing the fan arts and the costumes that people do as well. It's pretty fantastic.
Very cool, right?
There's been some incredible cosplay.
Yes.
What,
Like,
is,
I wanna
what
see-
does cosplay mean?
Oh, that's where they dress up as the characters from the show, like at
Costume
conventions.
plays.
Oh,
right?
right.
Yeah.
Just shortened costume play.
Okay, dig
Yeah,
it. Okay,
like
okay,
half of it's
okay,
the
okay,
costume
okay,
and half
okay,
of
yeah,
it's
yeah.
being in character on demand.
Right. I haven't, I go to a lot of Comic Cons and I do about 12 a year, and I haven't really seen that one yet. But I look forward to it. You know what I'm talking about? You know, because you see, that's true. You do see a lot of people that dress up for different shows. You know.
Oh, yeah. I think it was San Diego 2 years ago. 2 people came dressed as Addie in 10K, and it was just like,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
hello.
Yeah, I think I've seen pictures on Twitter for people who make their own Z-Whackers.
Oh, yeah.
That I've seen a lot of. Yeah, it's cool.
So, actually, I wanted to ask, too, what's been your favorite weapon on this season so far? Because your character has a knife gun, and he has her
Get over
upgraded...
the knife, the gun blade. I love it. Oh my
I
God.
really dig it. That's really cool because when I'm out of bullets, I can stab you in the head, right? But check this out. You know, when the gun was first made, it had like a brass knuckle thing, and it had like bolts, right? And it was really cool. So you can go like this. But what happened is that when during the when you see a zombie, automatically you go like this, right? Well, I would stab myself.
Oh, no.
And it happened twice. I said, we probably don't need this anymore because it's just automatic. You just go, but it's the real bolts. So so we got rid of that. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
But I think
Curse
it's pretty
you, good gun training.
So what's and again, we don't want any spoilers for further on down the season, but what's been your favorite behind the scenes moment so far?
You know, it's just like anything else. It's just the camaraderie. It's just fun hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Laughing about it. Even if it's a long day, we just hug and talk about something else and okay, let's go do this. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the fun part is just the friendships, man. You know what I'm talking about? Because the work's going to be the work, you know. But just hanging out, you know, it's good, really good. Makes the time go by.
Yeah, like I said, can't emphasize enough how great this entire cast has been.
So wonderful. Just even the one day we were up there working as zombies, like everyone was just so fun and excited and happy to be working. And yeah, it was a 12 or 13 hour day, but like it was fun the whole time.
Oh, so you went up there?
Yeah.
We did.
We got to be extras one day. It was a huge.
How was that?
That was great.
That was
fun.
Was it a hot day?
Actually,
Not
no.
terribly.
You got
no.
lucky. Okay, did you?
It actually rained at one point.
But,
yeah,
but
cool.
I totally believe you about the physicality of it, because we did very minimal stuff.
We were embarrassingly sore the next day.
It's like, I wasn't supposed to work my muscles like that for 10 hours.
Try
They
doing
don't-
that every day.
Well, and even towards the end of the day, we were watching Nat and Passay run over and over and over again, and we were
Yeah.
just like, that looks really hard.
Just tackling Nat like 5 different times.
Just at craft services. That's tough. Just
Popcorn.gif. Basically, that was just what we were doing. Like, yep, this is the thing.
And what we like doing, like the way I like to work Cleto. I mean, I mainly work with Cleto a lot. We do it for real, man. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're not half-assing nothing. We're moving, we're running, we're banging into shit. Excuse my language.
You're good.
yeah.
You're good.
Yeah, we're playing for real. You dig? So it just makes it more. It's just it looks real because we're doing it for real. You don't like to fake.
Yeah.
So sometimes you get hurt.
But you roll with
It
it.
happens.
Just like when me and Matt, when I was in Scorpion,
Yeah, when
we
you
had a
had
big
that
fight scene, and then we couldn't get a scene right, man. I couldn't get a right hit. I go, bro, just hit me. Go ahead. I mean, it's gonna hurt, but it's gonna last forever on screen. This looks great, right? So you just gotta, it's not gonna kill you, So just have fun with it, man. Because when your adrenaline is so pumped up when you're doing this, you really don't feel nothing. You'll feel it tomorrow, you know?
Yeah.
There you go. It's a future word.
You definitely feel it the following day.
Oh dear God.
That's future
The
Emilio's
following
problem.
4 days.
So we're running a little short on time. Do you guys have any other questions for our fantastic guests?
What else are you working on that you can tell us about?
I have, I'm doing another show, just finished with Ron Perlman, who played Clay on the Sons of Anarchy,
Nice.
called Hand of God. We just finished our second season. It comes out in January, and then I leave to Atlanta tomorrow. Next week, I'm doing a show called Saints and Sinners up there with Clifton Powell, and a great cast. I'll be there for about a month playing a cop over there. So next time you see me, I'll be all cleaned up, and but then I'll come back and I'll go back again the following month. I got some other stuff cracking that I can't say about much. Also, there's a film called Badsville with a Robert Nipper and a whole. It's really, it's just like the Greasers kind of guys, like almost like The Outsiders, but nowadays it's so good. So check it out when you can.
Interesting.
So, are you not allowed to say anything about the Mayans MC spinoff show?
I cannot say anything right now, but I say keep watching. That's like I say.
I know Kurt and James are together working on things.
It's all about up to Kurt, but yes.
All right. Well, I'm excited for that.
Thank you so much.
All right, real quick, let's do some really quick rapid fire predictions.
Your
before we
AfterBuzz
wrap it
TV
up for the evening.
predictions.
So, next episode, we have Murphy in Murphytown, and it looks like he's undergoing some very physical changes, and it looks like he's preparing for war with Warren, of all people. How's that going to pan out for him, Katie?
Oh God, I don't know. I'm expecting him to completely screw up a batch of the vaccine and have horrible side effects. Like, I would not be surprised.
They're going to find out he ate brains, and we're going to have to deal with that.
Mm.
Yep.
Now,
I like that
here's a
idea.
question. Now that, because we saw it in the Collector episode, you know, him eating brains for the first time, and now he's consumed Murch's brain and supposedly become smarter as a result. Will he develop a taste for brains and actively try to eat people's brains in the future moving forward?
That's very good.
It's interesting
Just
because
sacrifice yourself to the Murphy.
I could see that.
Because he does have a cult of followers.
That would be nasty. Huh?
It would be a special level of twisted.
Wow.
But this show can do twisted without doing horrifyingly graphic, and I appreciate that. So
Yes.
And the fresher, the better. Especially if they're alive, you know what I'm saying? So just sit there, brother. You know, just gonna pick at you.
I mean,
organic, free
oh my
range.
gosh. I feel like
Locally
we're
grown.
not that far away from the Hannibal scene of like actually eating the brain while the guy is still alive.
Or that's what I'm saying.
fava
Or
beans
you
and a
see,
nice
you see different
Chianti.
functions of the person not working anymore.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
He pulls this part of the brain that I died. You know what I mean?
You could just go on a vegan diet and eat animal brains, like zombie animal brains.
Man.
That's not vegan.
That's
That
not
is
vegan.
the opposite of
That's the
vegan.
opposite of it's zombie vegan.
How about fish brains? That'd be vegan, right?
Yeah,
They're like this big.
I'm an omnivore.
It's like caviar. They're like this big. You just take a handful of
Zombie
it.
caviar is fish brains.
Yeah, the opposite end. Okay, that dead silence after
Gross.
that comment. Thank you.
That's funny. Man.
It's the opposite end from the eggs.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah. It was a good try. Good try.
I do wonder why the splotchiness of the peach tone skin is coming back, getting back on point, and I think it's giving his blood away in such high volumes for the vaccine to make 10,000 doses is probably affecting how much of that is still coursing through his blood because his blood regenerates. Maybe it's just his normal blood.
You think it'll
Yeah.
ever go back to normal?
Maybe. That would be a heck of
I
a
don't
twist.
know what he would do it with himself if he did.
That would be like,
Probably get killed by a zombie.
Well, yeah,
Right.
because he's been the chosen one for so long, and he's appointed himself a god in his own mind. So it would be very interesting.
He might become obsolete, and Lucy might be the target.
That's a thought.
That required a dramatic sip.
It did.
This girl knows what's up.
she knows what's up. Yeah, man.
Well, let us know in the comments below, what do you think is the future of Murphytown, everyone? So I think that wraps it up for tonight's episode. Emilio, thank you.
Thank you.
So
I had a lot
much.
of fun. It was good. It was-
Thanks for coming
You
on.
are welcome to join us at any
I've
time.
been wanting to for a while, but it's just that schedules haven't worked out. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
anytime you're free, consider it an open
thank
invitation.
you so
Yeah.
much. I appreciate that.
Where can people go if they want to keep up with you?
Emilio Rivera 48 on Twitter and Instagram, and then my fan page on Facebook, Emilio Rivera.
Fantastic. Michelle?
It's important for me to say that the vegan thing was like a Twilight reference where they were vegetarian because they ate animals. That's where that was going. I'm serious. I understand what vegans are.
Please don't make the Cullen connection worse.
You can find me on Twitter at Michelle_Cullen.
I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and YouTube at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. I am also on Snapchat at Kia Prime. I think we can announce this because the episode has aired. Robots in Disguise is back this Thursday, 7 p.m. We're doing every other Thursdays. Crunch Time is right after this. Star Wars Rebels is on Tuesdays. Arrow is on Wednesdays. And Ruby will be back on November 3rd. So many things.
So I'm Megan. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TheMenguin. That's TheMenguin. I'm also on a bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz, most of which she just listed. Yeah. And I write articles for the Movie Chick. That's Chick with 2 Ks. Be sure to check those out. Again, Emilio cannot say thank you enough.
Thank you
so much. And thank you all for watching. Thank you to everybody in the hashtag and the live chat. We will see you all next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.